Check this.
Hey everyone, welcome to Chaotic Strategies. My name is Trav, and if you are just tuning in for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that way you guys are always notified about the videos that I'm posting weekly. In this week's game review video, I am reviewing the popular 90s game, POGs. POGs was one of the most popular games in the early to late 90s. I mean, it took up pretty much that whole decade going through the 90s. I mean, it was unreal. And they were all over the place. I mean, millions of POGs and slammers and stuff like that sold all over the place. And everybody got their hands into the marketing and the branding some way, somehow. Pokemon, which we all know right now, they are huge, and they capitalized on POGs even more by printing Pokemon onto these discs. So then people could then collect the little pocket monsters there on top of the games, the series, the cards. I mean, they capitalized a lot. McDonald's was another one. They actually had some of their own POGs branded as well, and they had a lot of Power Rangers POGs come out during that time as well too. The history of POGs can go back as early as the 1920s during the Great Depression. It started right around Maui, Hawaii, and what they used bottle caps and milk caps to play this game. You would stack your caps face down, you would throw a cap at it, knock the stack over, and whatever landed face up you would keep, and then restack everything that was laid face down, and then the next person would go. And you would play this game until you couldn't put any more in the stack, and whoever had the most bottle caps won the game. POGs actually stands for passion fruit, orange, and guava, which was a popular drink in Maui, Hawaii during that time, and still is today. And the name stuck. It stuck. In the early 90s, the World POG Federation came to be, and it actually caused a trademark war amongst several companies on who actually branded the name POGs first. And I don't know if that ever came to a conclusion or not, but it was huge. I mean, a lot of these little cardboard discs caused a lot of controversy, not just at a marketing level, but on a playing level as well. So when you play this game, you stack anywhere between 10 and 15 of these cardboard discs face down. Usually there was something printed on one side of it, and on the other side it was usually a brand name or a company on the back side of it. And then you would take these slammers, which were typically made of plastic or metal. They were heavier than your normal POGs. And you would slam that slammer down on top of that stack to get them to kind of bounce up and scatter all over the place. And then whatever landed face up, you would take those, everything face down, you restack, the next player goes, so on and so forth, until whoever had about half of the stack. Whoever had about half of the stack, you would call that game over, and then that person got to walk away with their winnings. And it was pretty rough, especially me being one that played it in the early 90s too. You had all these really cool POGs. Us and our friends, we'd get together and we would pick and choose what POGs that we wanted to throw into the stack. Well, we always played for keeps. You could either play for keeps or not for keeps. We always played for keeps because it made it interesting, and yeah, usually one of us would go home crying by the end of the game. But I mean, that's what made it fun. And the more POGs you had, the better off you were. I mean, that's how it was. If you went to your buddy's house with a big old box full of POGs, 500-600 POGs, I mean, you were a king among men during this time. I mean, that's how it was. And so yeah, I mean, it blew up. Schools banned POGs all over the place, all over the nation. Schools banned them. I mean, I can see why. They said that they were a distraction and it's a form of gambling, which you know, it is. If you're playing for keeps, it is a form of gambling. I can see that. But parents were also getting mad too, because their kids would take their pogs to school to play this game, and they'd come home mad or upset when the parents had just got done spending a bunch of money to give them these collector's items. It's, you know, that's how it was in the 90s. I mean, it's still that way today. We just don't really play for keeps anymore with a lot of the games that we play. But it's also said that pogs might have had its roots from a Japanese game that's even older than the 1920s called Manko. Very similar, but it used oriented cards. You would place those cards face down, and then you would try to take your card and throw your card at it and try to get it to flip over. If you got it to flip over, you got to keep that card, and it just went around in circles, and whoever actually got the most cards won. So very, very similar. Pogs also had a mascot who was a caveman named Pogman. I mean, you can't have one of the most popular trends in the world and not have a mascot. Well, this mascot actually had his own little mini book series as well, which I thought was a great idea. It got kids interested, it got kids to read. So, you know, I mean, it was one of those things. They were trying to market it more and more and more and more, and it was very successful. Pogs were very, very successful for what they were, and you can still buy pogs today. And now, you know, along with these trends, pogs aren't as collectible as people think they are, as far as like it being worth a bunch of money. I mean, it's not like, you know, with your trading card games, with Pokemon, with Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, stuff like that. They're still mildly collectible, but you're not going to get the big bucks out of them like you would some other collectible items. On Amazon, you could find assorted sets, you know, of 100 and 500 pieces for, you know, anywhere between 10 and 20 bucks. You could find them on eBay for, you know, assorted sets of 100 for, you know, anywhere between $7 and $15. You can still pick up slammers. There's still people out there making custom slammers that you can use as well, and about the same price. Anywhere between $7 and $20 is about the average that I saw that you're going to spend on a Pog set if you still want to play the game, or, you know, birthday ideas, whatever. But they're not worth as much as people think they are. So even though Pogs aren't as popular and we don't see them in the mainstream media anymore, they still are popular in other parts of the world. Okay, so just a quick brief rundown of exactly how the game is played. So the game is typically a two-player game. You get all your pogs together and you figure out what pogs you want to throw in there. Again, pogs are just little cardboard discs with images printed on, about the size of a US $50. So you get your pogs together on which ones that you're willing to possibly give up. You make a stack of 10 to 15 of them. You take your slammer and you slam that down on the top of the stack. And once you do that, that stack flies up everywhere and pogs flip over. Whatever flips face up, you get to keep. Whatever stayed face down, you restack, the next person goes. Now you flip a coin to determine who goes first, and typically it is kind of rigged because the first person can usually snag about half the stack in one slam. If you're good enough, you can grab out half the stack. So you could very well end the game with one good hit of the slammer. So, and then the game ends. You just keep going back and forth until somebody has more than half of the stack. Once more than the half of the stack has been depleted, the game ends. You guys tally up what you have. The winner is whoever has the most. And if you're playing for keeps, that's it. The loser, whoever made the stack, gets to keep everything that was still face down. The winner gets to go ahead and take their winnings. So that's, you can see that would make a lot of people very upset. I know I got quite upset when I lost quite a few of my pogs as well playing, but it was all in good fun. That is our game review of the week, going over the iconic 90s game of Pogs. A little brief history there, starting in the 1920s and going up into today. And like I said, it's still played today in certain parts of the world, and it's still very much enjoyed. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for me so that way you guys are always notified about videos that I'm posting weekly. We are all over the place on social media. You can hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, right here on YouTube. All of our links are up in the banner above. And I hope you guys are being safe out there. Wash your hands and we'll see you in the next video.